Okay, hi Jamie. Welcome to a day in the life of the coach with Jamie Smith. From now, where are you living now? Because you moved when
Yeah.
I met you was in Montreal,
Yes. We
and now
met
you
in
live on the
Montreal.
other coast.
I live in Vancouver on the West Coast. Yes.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to have you here today, Jamie, to talk to our listeners and our viewers about a day in the life of a coach. What's it really like? So tell me a little bit about yourself, Jamie. When did you come to coaching? When did you come to ICA? What's your practice look like now?
I came to ICA. I'm so bad with time. I think it was, I graduated just over about a year and a half ago. And I can't remember when the ICF conference in Montreal was, but I had just started coaching. I had just joined ICA at that time, and then I got to meet you and all the teachers. Just happened to be in my city, the ICF conference, when I had just signed up, so that was really fun.
Good.
Prior to that, I've been working for Air Canada as a flight attendant for 15 years, and I love my job, but there's always every year there's
Yeah.
uncertainty, in the airline industry, and I wanted to do something else. And I do love my job as a flight attendant, but I was searching for something else. And huge Oprah fan, and she's always saying, do what you love, do what you love, do. And all I loved, honestly, were self-help books.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's what am I supposed to do with that?" So I did think about becoming a psychologist, but I had failed math, and then I thought, okay, it's going to take a long time
Yeah,
before
yeah.
become a psychologist, and it just didn't feel right. Although I did look into that option, and I put it out there to the universe, and I read a great book by Deepak Chopra, The Seven Spiritual Laws of
Yes.
Success. Great. There's a great little exercise at the end of the book to figure out what your purpose is and what you love, and just to write out a list of your talents and a list of all the things that you love, and then see if you can, marry those two and figure out a way to be of service. So I did that exercise, put it at on the side, and then I kept seeing. Then I heard about life coaching. I went to therapy one day. My therapist said, "Have you ever thought about becoming a life coach?" I'd never heard of it. I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then I saw a life coach on TV
Yeah. Yeah.
and started seeing life coaching everywhere. And so
It's
right? And
interesting how that happens, right? Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
And so I now know that if I'm getting signs like that, that's life pointing me in a direction that you want to go in.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I hear you. Oh, wow. So, let's talk about a typical day in the life of Jamie Smith. Well, how's that looking? Where do you get your clients from? People love to ask us, what's it really like to be a life coach?
Yeah. Well, let's just say I love my life coaching days. I still work as a flight attendant, and it's a great day job to have because I work 2 to 3 days a week as a flight attendant. But I love my coaching days. So I like to schedule my week. It just depends, on my flying. But I schedule my week, and then I usually coach 2 to 3 days a week. And I love my coaching days. Those are my favorite days, because you get to wake up and you schedule your clients when you want.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, and it's
right.
heaven on earth for me. It's
Yeah.
heaven on earth. And I really look forward to the day when I can do that full time. And that's my vision and that's my goal. So,
Yeah, and you didn't let the fact that you couldn't do it, 5 days a week right away,
no.
stop you. You knew it was what you wanted to do, and you're doing it, half time or whatever, but you're doing it. Good for you.
Yeah, well, I don't know. A friend of mine, Carrie Richardson, she said to me, don't go from your comfort zone to the panic zone. G- Go
Yes.
from comfort to stretch.
Hmm.
And so stretch for me right now is reducing my hours. So I work minimum hours at Air Canada.
Okay.
Right.
Hmm.
And so doing the coach, I'm not ready to just leave my day job just yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
So, you went to ICA,
Yes.
you got your certification,
Yeah.
and you have a coaching toolbox as a result of being in our school. And,
Mhm.
one of them might be your power tool or your coaching model. Tell us a little bit about your power tool first.
Yeah, my power tool was me versus we. because in the past, I tended to be somebody that, kind of isolated myself or thought I had to do everything by myself. And I know now that nobody recovers alone, and that all successful people have a team of support around them. And so I really wanted to change my life. So I started reading, all sorts of books and listening to successful people. And they all said the same thing, that we don't recover alone. So I now use that. That was my power tool. And I now use that in my coaching. It's, if I have a client with a goal, I say, well, who else other than me, who else can you ask to support you, in this? It's very important to have people in our lives that support us in our dreams. So some people will support us and others are going to, poo-poo our ideas. So it's very important to have that structure in place. So.
Yeah. So your power tool is called?
Me versus we. So there are times in life when it is important to take time for ourselves, to be alone, to have some solitude. I'm somebody that needs a lot of solitude. But there are also times when we don't have the answer, when we're not moving forward, that we need the we, that we need support from others.
Yeah, me versus we. Very nice.
I mean, even I remember I took a course once and the teacher said, look at the difference between illness and wellness. What's the difference when you just look at the words? It's the I and the we. Sounds a little cheesy, but I thought it was really powerful. And I thought that, there's studies that show people who have cancer or who are going through that, if they get lots of support, they're healthier, live longer, etc. So.
Great. I had no idea. Illness.
If you illness and wellness, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. Okay. So tell us about your coaching model. What was the name, and how do you use it? How's it a tool for you?
Yeah, well, I had two and I was writing, but the one that I use the most is mine was called the Flight Plan. Being a flight attendant, it just came to me one day and I thought, the Flight Plan coaching model. So my coaching model is based on a real flight plan. So as a flight attendant, when we get on board the aircraft, the pilot gives us a briefing and he sometimes will show us the actual flight plan, and it's a paper and it's really interesting. And it has, where we are and where we're going. And it has a line down the center, where, the route that we're flying. And then it has little dots, and those dots represent the cities that we're flying over. And then on the left, it shows bad weather, storms. And we don't go through the storms. We avoid storms. And I thought, this is so cool. I'm going to make my coaching model called the Flight Plan coaching model. And it's what I use with everything to do with an actual flight is what I use with my clients and my coaching model. So for example,